This is a very special beginning for 5 Live here in poll-bound Karnataka, and that's why I'm saying namaskara to all of our viewers here in Karnataka and all across the country. We're kicking things off from here at the Kapu beach in coastal Karnataka. As you can see, this really is one of the most beautiful parts of the country. But behind these verdant beaches and wonderful coconut groves, you and I both know, viewer, that coastal Karnataka for years has had a troubling reputation of being a communal cauldron where there's been a constant cycle of violence. And that's why this is my first stop in poll-bound Karnataka to check the state of polarization here.
After a decade of communal violence, how polarized is coastal Karnataka?
Zindabad, Zindabad, yes, Zindabad.
Ground report from fiercest flashpoints.
We're now joining a door-to-door campaign by the SDPI here near Mangalore. We are at the Sanganiketan here in Mangaluru, which is the RSS headquarters in this part of the state of Karnataka.
Shiv Aroor meets RSS, SDPI, victims and accused.
Important to try and figure out what happened.
Unmissable view of communal coast. Top focus on 5 Live.
I wanted to start this ground report, this assessment of the state of polarization and communal tension in coastal Karnataka by focusing on those who've lost. Because, viewer, you and I both know that when everything is boiled away, it's those who've lost loved ones who have to grieve the most. Everyone else simply moves on. And so my first stop after landing in Mangaluru was to the father of a young man who was hacked to death in the name of this cycle of endless violence. It was here in 2017 in Mangaluru that young RSS worker Sharat Madiwala was murdered. The latest victim in an unending cycle of communal violence that has gripped coastal Karnataka. I'm standing right outside the laundry store that he and his father ran. He was killed right here. And now, all these years later, we're going to try and find out whether any justice has been served or has Sharat Madiwala simply become a statistic. Because it's important to try and figure out what happened. It was in his name, Sharat Madiwala and others like him, that the 2018 election was actually fought. How does Mr. Madiwala feel right now? The father of Sharat Madiwala. It has been over 6 years now. What are his sentiments? Does he have any hope for justice?
ಆಜಿ ವರ್ಷ ಹಿಡ್ದು ಇರಿಗೆ ಇಂಚಿನ ಆತಂಡ ಇರಿಗೆ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ತಿಕ್ಕದಂಡ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳೋದಲ್ಲಿ
ಆಜಿ ವರ್ಷ ನನಗೆ 6 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಾನೂನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹಕಾರ ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವುದೇ ನಮ್ಮ BJP ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಹಕಾರ ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರೂ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತು ಕೋರ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೇಸನ್ನು ಇವರು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು NIಗೆ ತನಿಖೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತೇಳಿ 1 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಹೋರಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಏನು ಇಷ್ಟವರೆಗೆ ಯಾವುದೂ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ನಳಿನಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮನವಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ, SP ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಮನವಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಇವರು ಗಣನೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಶರತ್ ಮಡಿವಾಳನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಾನೂನು ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಇವರು ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ. ನನಗೆ ತಿಳಿದ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ವಿಶ್ವಾಸಕ್ಕೂ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ ಇವರು.
Has he lost hope in justice?
ನನ್ನ ಮಗನನ್ನು ಕೊಂದು ನಾನು ಸಾಯುವವರೆಗೆ ಇದು ನನಗೆ ಇದು ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನ್ಯಾಯ ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನ್ಯಾಯವೇ ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟವರೆಗೂ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈಗಲೂ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿಸುಂಟು. ಇವರು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸರ್ಕಾರ ನಮ್ಮ ಘನ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಇವರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಕೊಂದವರು ಇಂಥವರಿಂದ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಮಣತ್ರಯಿ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ಅವರು ಕೊಲಿಸಿದ್ದೆ ಅವರು. ಈ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನರನ್ನು ಹಿಡಿಸಿ ಕೊಲಿಸಿದ್ದೆ ಅವರು, PFI ಅವರನ್ನು ಹಿಡಿದು. ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದೀಗ ಅದನ್ನೇ, ಯಾಕೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗ ತನಿಖೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ? ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗ ತನಿಖೆ ಮಾಡಲಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತು ಬರ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಇವರು ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇವರಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತಂತ ಏನೇ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗದು. ಇವರು ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗ ತನಿಖೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ? ಇಷ್ಟವರೆಗೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. 5 ವರ್ಷ ಕಳೆದೀಗ 6ನೇ ವರ್ಷ. ನಾಡ್ದು ಈಗ ಬಂದರೆ ಜುಲೈ ಬಂದರೆ 6 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯಿತು. ಏನೂ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವೊಂದು ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಕೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರೂ ಕೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ.
Final question, what does he feel about this cycle of violence, communal violence between, SDPI, RSS, BJP, Sangh Parivar in the coastal Karnataka? It's been going on for a very long time and his son was a victim to that. How does he feel about that?
ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದು, ಇದನ್ನು NIA ತನಿಖೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಮಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು. ನನಗೆ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಉದ್ದೇಶವೇ ಅದು. ನಾನು ಸಾಯೋದ್ರ ಮೊದಲು ಒಂದು ನ್ಯಾಯ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು. ನನಗೆ ಈಗ 74-75 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬಂತು. ನನಗೆ ಆ ನ್ಯಾಯವನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸಬೇಕು ಇವರು. ಯಾವಾಗ ಇವರು ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮುತುವರ್ಜಿ ವಹಿಸೋದಿಲ್ವಾ, ನಾನು ಏನು ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೊಂದು ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಕೊಡಿಸಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇವರು ಇಷ್ಟವರೆಗೆ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ನನ್ನ ಮಗಳಿಗೆ BBM ಆಗಿದೆ, TCH ಆಗಿದೆ, ಯಾವುದು ಇವರು ಕರೆದು ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಗಳು SLC ಆಗಿದೆ, ಯಾವುದೊಂದು ಅಟೆಂಡರ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇವರು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟವರೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸಾರವನ್ನು ಇವರು ಕಣ್ಣೆತ್ತಿ ನೋಡಲಿಲ್ಲ.
Right after I met with young Sharath Mariwala's father, I ventured deeper into the Bantwal constituency where the SDPI, blamed for these murders, is standing a candidate there. I caught up with him. I asked him some of those questions because remember, this is not one-sided violence. This is a cycle of violence that has perpetuated itself over and over again.
SDPI Zindabad! SDPI Zindabad!
We're now joining a door-to-door campaign by the SDPI here in near Mangalore, where their candidate Ilyas Tumbe is here. He's going from door to door. He's the candidate from the SDPI right now. It's known to be a strong fight here in coastal Karnataka. There are 16 candidates by the SDPI in this election, and Mr. Tumbe is one of them. Sir, thanks for your time. SDPI has been quite a bit in the media eye in the last few months for various reasons which you know about. How is it looking for the SDPI right now?
Yeah, here very tremendous responses from the voters, especially from the youths. And since last 6 months we have been in campaign, and in all nook and corner we have reached, and the people are very interested about the alternative politics. Because of this Congress and BJP, they are fed off of these people, and corruption and the underdevelopment is the main issue here. So we are keeping this issue into the public, and there is very, very good response from the public.
Because in 2018, sir, and I was here in 2018 also, at that time the big issue here was communal politics.
Yes.
Hindu-Muslim politics was being played out. SDPI versus Sangh Parivar, PFI, all those things were there that time. Is it the same this time, or has it moved forward?
Yeah, it is the same. Same issue is here. The BJP is doing this vengeance policy, hate politics, and they are dividing the society on the basis of religion, Hindu and Muslim issues. And because of that, there is a clear polarization here. There is a clear cut of division of vote on the basis of religion. So that is also issue. The people, the minorities, Muslims and Christians are very, they are the victims of fear politics here.
Because Ilyas ji, the BJP blames SDPI for the same thing. What you are blaming them for, they say that you are also responsible. So it has become like a cycle of violence.
Yes. No, that is totally wrong, because BJP, all over India, BJP is doing this one. Hindu and Muslim politics. We are in the politics only because of defending the minorities. When these people, BJP and RSS, attacking and they are doing hate politics, we are always helping the people for their rights, for their justice. So how can we become communal politics? That is totally wrong. There is a blame game from the BJP.
There are some who say that the PFI which got banned, which is known to be associated with SDPI, those people have come into SDPI and many of them may be part of the election machinery. How do you respond to that, sir? Because the reason I'm asking that question is because the Sangh Parivar and the BJP say those are the people who are involved in many of the violent incidents.
No, because we have no connection with any other organizations. We are a political party. All kind of people are coming here. All the members from the other organizations, other community are always joining our party. There is no question of connection between PFI and SDPI. If PFI banned, we are not at all concerned about it. SDP is a political party. We are involving all kind of people, including Muslims, Christians, Dalits. Everyone is here. From the leadership level to the bottom level, everyone, irrespective of caste and creed and religion, they are involving our party.
Many Hindu youth have been killed, many Muslim youth have been killed. It has become a cycle of violence. I come from Delhi.
Yeah.
From far away, the perception is that young men are the victims of higher politics that is being played out. Can there be an end to it, sir?
Yeah, definitely there will be an end. If BJP stop this kind of hate politics, this kind of
the same thing about you also.
No, there is no. There is no proof of that. For their allegation, there is no proof. But all over the India, the hate politics are doing by this BJP and RSS. We are not doing that. Whenever they are coming to attack us, definitely the people are going to defend themselves. So how can we sit quietly?
But is the atmosphere, the mood, is it less angry this time as far as communal issues is concerned? I remember in 2018, this was after the Sharat Madiwala case, some other cases also in different parts of coastal Karnataka.
Yeah.
This time it's little quieter, mood is more calm this time?
Yeah, a little bit quiet and calm, but the issues are still remaining. They created hijab issue, they created azan issue, they created namaz issue, they created halal issue. Many issues they are creating out of the, from the zero, out of the vacuum. They are creating the issues only because of polarization. They want to, accumulate the votes from the Hindu community by showing that Hindu khatre mein hai because of this Muslim. How can Hindu khatre mein hai? Hindu, Muslim people and Dalit and Christian people are very quiet and calm here. The people from belonging to, connected to the RSS and Sangh Parivar, they are creating issues from the zero. So that is the problem here in Karnataka.
Do you think, last question sir, do you think polarization politics benefits the BJP?
Yeah.
It benefits the BJP in the sense that a party like SDPI works only for the minorities, consolidates the vote. BJP gets the advantage.
No, our party is not only working with the minorities, we are working with all people, I said in the earlier itself. See, in the Isharappa said, when they coming to power, they, close the madrasas. And C.T. Ravi said they ban azan. And so many, this kind of, the Yatnal said some other thing. He said, we will cut the limbs of Muslims. So this kind of politics, that is very dangerous. They are doing this kind of.
I hope we see an end of this kind of politics. Ilyasji, thank you very much for spending time with us. We will be part of your group with your permission, just to get the mood of the SDPI and your campaign. But very important, because 16 candidates is not a small number. The entire coastal Karnataka belt is important as far as the SDPI is concerned as well, and they're trying their best to see if they can make a mark in this election. The cycle of communal tension in flashpoint coastal Karnataka means there are two sides. There is the SDPI and then there is the RSS and other Sangh Parivar organizations. I spent some time with leaders of the RSS in Mangaluru to understand their perception of the things that they are accused of in this cycle of violence. Take a look. When one speaks of polarization in coastal Karnataka, one side of that coin is obviously the RSS, and it's the RSS that constantly finds itself in the media headlines as far as communal issues is concerned in coastal Karnataka. As we speak about these issues and look deeper into some of these issues, especially during election time when they become even more amplified, I'm happy to be joined by a group of senior members of the RSS. There is a meeting going on here at the Sanganiketan in Mangaluru. They've given me their time to take my questions, take India Today's questions on these issues. Thank you very much, sirs, for being with us here on India Today, and namaskaras to all of you. I know it's a very busy time. Not only because of election time, but I know that there are many things that all of you do. My first question to you, sir, is that from the outside, as an outsider, communal politics, polarization seems to be the very common thing जो coastal Karnataka से आता है. What is your perception of it? Because the RSS is often blamed for being part of the polarization that takes place here. How would you respond to that?
Yeah, naturally RSS inculcate Vyakti Nirmana, means in building up the good characters about nation, about our country, about Seva. So naturally the coastal people inclined towards the country, the betterment of the country, they always think of the nation first. That's how normally people will vote for the who is interested in the country's interest. Naturally the votes are people are interested in the particular person. We are not promoting any party or any this thing, but normally who is interested in the to bring this country into the world forum as a Vishwa Guru, normally people will select the such persons in this country.
Some of the big face-offs that have happened in different parts of coastal Karnataka have been between workers of the RSS and workers of organizations like the SDPI and minority groups. Sunil here is a young member of the RSS as well, and we'd like to speak to him. He does a lot of work in terms of outreach, especially with young persons and youth. Sunil ji, आपका क्या opinion है इस पर जो communal issues हैं, SDPI को लेकर जो cycle of violence जो और हिंसा जो हुआ है, आपका क्या ओपिनियन है? क्या वो ऐसे ही चलते आ रहा है अभी?
सबको भला होना चाहिए, यही सोचता है, यही संस्कार संघ के शाखा में मिलता है उनको. इसी के आधार पर उनका जो भी इवेंट आए, जो भी प्रोग्राम हो या समाज में काम करना हो, सेवा एक्टिविटीज करना हो. आप देखा होगा कोविड के समय पर संघ का परिवार के सभी कार्यकर्ता या वो अलग से धर्म से हो, कुछ भी हो, रिलीजन से हो, लेकिन उनको नहीं देखा है, सबको काम किया है, क्योंकि उनके संस्कार की आधार से ही वो मानते हैं सबको भला होना चाहिए, सबको अच्छा होना चाहिए. इसी के आधार पर हम लोग चलने वाले हैं. जैसा वो लोग सोचते वैसा नहीं है इधर. ये तो अभी हमारे अंदर तो ये ऐसा तो मानना है, ऐसा ही चल रहा है हम लोग.
क्या आप मानते हैं कि कुछ पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड कम्युनल इश्यूज भी हैं इलेक्शन के टाइम में, उसके पहले भी हैं, और वो ये सवाल इसलिए उठता है क्योंकि काफी किलिंग्स भी हुए हैं, काफी वायलेंस भी हुआ है, इसलिए ये एक बहुत सीरियस इशू जो हम इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते.
जैसा आपने बताया, जो उनका पॉलिटिकल मोटिवेशन क्यों होता है, उनको सीट नहीं मिल रहा है, इसी के कारण ऐसा हो रहा है. बस ये अगर बहुत लोग समाज के भला हो ऐसा सोचने लगे, उन लोगों में भी ऐसा सोचने लगा तो कम्युनल वायलेंस नहीं होता है. ये वन वे नहीं हो सकता है, टू वे होना चाहिए. ये मानना हर स्वयंसेवक का मनोबल है. ये
I was here in 2018 also for the 2018 election. At that time, communal polarization was one of the very dominant issues. This year it seems a little less. This year it seems like communal issues are more muted. There seems to be more discussion as far as development, nationalism is concerned. Is that true? That communal issues have taken somewhat of a back seat?
Yes, definitely yes. Because in the last 3 years, after the BJP government has come and taken power, there has been lot of focus towards law and order issues and focus towards all these issues where the government, BJP government is sincerely trying to see all the major issues are resolved. That's the reason you find most of the, there is not much of a communal issue, especially in this particular area, in South Canara especially. And for your information, there is a lot of development also taking place throughout the state. So that has overshadowed all these communal issues.
Final question to you then, sir. We have spent time reporting on SDPI, spoken to them also. They say just the opposite. they put the ball back in the RSS's court, saying that the instigation comes from the RSS, that this Jagruti is basically, what instigates violence and, puts youth into this path of violence. How would you respond to that? So they say that is the reason for all this violence.
My this thing towards it is they don't have any other issues to bring towards the public. So that is why they are creating that, in fact, to get a political mileage over for this, because they are basically now going towards trying to find a avenue or trying to build up their organization like a political organization. So that is why they are focusing on that and then trying to bring that into the picture. So I don't think whatever they have told is right. And that's the reason they try to instigate and try to find out some reasons by which they can get mileage over it. So that is my this.
Thank you very much to all of you, sirs, for speaking to India today. The elections are only a few days away right now. The RSS has a very important job to do as far as voter awareness is concerned. Hopefully this time, between the SDPI and the RSS both blaming each other for the atmosphere that has been part of the reputation of coastal Karnataka and the reality for many, many years, hopefully that will take a back seat in favor of other issues. We are at the Sanganiketan here in Mangaluru, which is the RSS headquarters in this part of the state of Karnataka, pole-bound Karnataka. And joining me here is Gajanan Pai Saab, who's a senior member of the RSS here. The RSS, of course, plays a very important role, both culturally as well as politically, because the BJP is the ruling party here in Karnataka. Gajanan sir, पहले तो धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए इंडिया टुडे पर. जब भी हम कोस्टल कर्नाटका के बारे में बात करते हैं तो एक इशू जो सामने आता है वो है पोलराइजेशन. जब हम बाहर से देखते हैं तो ऐसे लगता है कि जो डोमिनेंट इशू है कोस्टल कर्नाटका में वो है पोलराइजेशन, कम्युनल इश्यूज, हिंदू मुस्लिम, ये सब. क्या ये अभी भी ऐसे ही है?
पोलराइजेशन इससे बेहतर शब्द है जागृति. यानी संघ का इतना साल का जो काम है, 1940 में इधर संघ का काम शुरू हो गया और संघ का काम इधर काफी बड़प्पन है, इसमें काफी इम्प्रूव हुआ है. इधर ग्रास रूट तक गया है. शायद हिंदू जनमानस में जो जागृति है उसके कारण अभी जो राष्ट्रीय दृष्टिकोण से जो सवाल है और जो एंटी नेशनल है उसके बारे में जागृति होने के कारण अगर जो कुछ भी थोड़ा होता है उसके लिए इमीडिएट रिएक्शन होता है. और हिंदू संगठन का भी, हिंदुओं के बीच में संगठन का भी इधर काफी पकड़ है. तो इसको पोलराइजेशन कहना ये ठीक नहीं है लगता है. हिंदू जागृति ऐसे
एक रिजल्ट जो हुआ है इस जागृति का गजानन सर, वो ये है कि काफी वायलेंस हो चुका है सालों से. और मैं इसलिए ये पूछ रहा हूँ क्योंकि जो मीडिया हेडलाइंस में जो आता है वो यही है. जो आपका जो ग्राउंड लेवल पे जो काम होता है वो शायद उतना सामने नहीं आएगा. लेकिन जब किसी का मर्डर होता है, समवन इज हैक्ड टू डेथ, ऐसा कुछ है, प्रवीण नेटारू, शरद मडिवाला, हम उनके पिताजी से मिले भी कल, तो ये सामने आता है कि बहुत वायलेंस होता है इस जागृति के रिजल्ट से.
हिंसा में संघ का कोई विश्वास नहीं है. संघ हिंसा में विश्वास नहीं रखता है. लेकिन कभी कभी परिस्थिति के कारण अगर कुछ रिएक्शन हो गया तो परिस्थिति कारण है, लेकिन वो संगठन या जागृति कारण नहीं है उसके.
जो फैमिलीज हैं, कुछ फैमिलीज जो जिनके बेटे खोए हैं इस हिंसा में, क्या संघ उनका मदद करता है, उनका प्रोटेक्शन करता है? क्योंकि बहुत लोग जो हमने बात की उनसे, वो बोलते हैं कि कुछ न्याय नहीं होता है, कोई हेल्प नहीं करता उनको.
जो समाज के लिए इतना बलिदान देते हैं या उनको तकलीफ उठाना पड़ता है, उनके बारे में बाकी हिंदू समाज जो है उसके बारे में ख्याल रखता है. उनको जो करना है वो करता है. अभी प्रवीण नेटारू जी जिनका बलिदान हुआ, उनके लिए कभी घर बनाया गया, कल उसका हस्तांतरण भी हो गया। तो ऐसे जिन परिवारों का ऐसा हाल है उनको मदद करने में इधर का जागृत हिंदू समाज भी उसका मदद जरूर करेगा।
जो 2018 के इलेक्शन, आखिरी सवाल गजानन सर, जो 2018 के चुनाव के पहले जो पोलराइजेशन का जो माहौल था, मूड था, क्या वो अभी भी वैसे ही है? क्योंकि इस बार एसडीपीआई जो आप मानते हैं एक ओपोजिंग फोर्स आप मानते हैं, मैं ऐसे ही बोल रहा हूं, क्या आप मानते हैं कि वो पोलराइजेशन का जो माहौल था 2018 में हिंसा को लेकर, वो अभी भी है? वो एक इशू है वोटर्स के माइंड में?
वो पॉलिटिकल जो रिजल्ट्स है वो बहुत फैक्टर पर निर्भर करता है, तो इसके बारे में तो मैं ज़्यादा नहीं बोल सकता हूं, क्योंकि अभी का पॉलिटिकल जो माहौल है उसके बारे में मुझे ज़्यादा जानकारी नहीं है।
एक लास्ट सवाल, और ये भी सवाल है क्योंकि हम दिल्ली से आ रहे हैं और हमारा एक आउटसाइडर का पर्सपेक्टिव है। जैसे कि कुछ सो कॉल्ड हिंदू संगठन हैं, जैसे कि श्री राम सेने या हिंदू वाहिनी, ऐसे जो कभी कभी हिंसा को लेकर बात करते हैं, वो हिंसा इस्तेमाल करते हैं बात करने के लिए या मैसेज पहुंचाने के लिए। आरएसएस का क्या व्यू है सर उन ऐसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के बारे में जो लोगों को मारपीट करते हैं, हिंसा का इस्तेमाल करते हैं? आप क्या बोलेंगे उनको?
मन परिवर्तन करना और हिंदू समाज को संस्कार देना, इसमें संघ का विश्वास है। ऐसे ही संघ करते आया है। अभी जो हिंसा का रास्ता जो अपनाते हैं वो संघ का तरीका नहीं है, लेकिन उनको पूरा कंट्रोल करना संघ का बस में नहीं है। समाज में जो भी है अपने विचार के आधार पर वो काम करते हैं। उनके विचार के हिसाब पर समाज भी उनको जैसा ट्रीट करना है वैसे ही ट्रीट करता है। तो संघ को हिंसा में विश्वास नहीं है।
शुक्रिया सर, थैंक यू, धन्यवाद। नी तांट रे बा तांट was a viral defiant slogan that was coined by an SDPI candidate in Mangaluru. It went totally viral. It became the subject matter of huge number of memes, a lot of trolling on the internet. And I went to meet him because he's considered one of the most defiant, one of the most aggressive candidates who's taken the fight to the RSS and the BJP. He's very much part, remember, of the communal atmosphere in coastal Karnataka. Take a look. So it's a really scorching day here near Mangaluru, and we're joined by another candidate who's been tirelessly campaigning. There's no break for politicians, they say. And Riaz Farangipete is a politician of the SDPI. He's the candidate from here. हम सीधा मुद्दे पे आते हैं, इशू पे आते हैं जो कोस्टल कर्नाटका में ज्यादा चलता है। वो है ब्लेम गेम। एसडीपीआई और आरएसएस के बीच में जो पोलराइजेशन का जो क्रॉस फायर जो चलता है, जो बाहर से दिखता है, उसके बारे में आप क्या कहेंगे? कितना बड़ा इशू है ये कम्युनल पोलराइजेशन इस एरिया में?
देखो, ये डीके डिस्ट्रिक्ट में मैंगलोर में आरएसएस वाले इधर कंटिन्यूसली एक माइनॉरिटीज लोगों के ऊपर हमला करने का, उनको बहुत डिस्टर्ब करने का काम बहुत सालों से कर रहा है। इसको रोकने के वास्ते सोशल डेमोक्रेटिक पार्टी ऑफ इंडिया इधर काम कर रहा है। इधर का डेमोक्रेसी को बचाना, इधर का सेक्युलरिज्म पॉलिसी को बचाना और हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को बचाना है। आरएसएस और बीजेपी का लोग क्या कर रहा है बोले तो हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को चेंज करना है और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का खिलाफ वो लोग जा रहा है। जो कुछ अभी सेंट्रल में और स्टेट में हुकूमत कर रहा है, ये लोगों का इश्यू, डेवलपमेंट का इश्यू कुछ बात नहीं कर रहे, एजुकेशन का बारे में बात नहीं कर रहे, जॉब का बात नहीं कर रहे। वो सिर्फ रिलीजियसली बात कर रहा है, धर्म दंगल में उन्होंने वोट लेना चाहते हैं। इसके वास्ते वो लोग उनको पोलराइजेशन करने के वास्ते हमको, हमारा ऊपर ब्लेम कर रहा है। हम टेररिस्ट का काम कर रहा है, दूसरा अलग अलग जात के बीच में ये करने का काम कर रहा है बोलकर वो लोग आरोप कर रहा है। ये आरोप में कुछ सच्चाई नहीं है। सिर्फ ब्लेमिंग है वो। लेकिन एसडीपीआई का काम क्या है बोले तो इधर का सेक्युलरिज्म पॉलिसी को बचाना है और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को बचाना है। इसके वास्ते में हम लोगों के बीच में अवेयरनेस कर रहा है, स्पेशली मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी के साथ हम जाकर, दलित कम्युनिटी के साथ जाकर इस देश का संविधान हमको क्या दिया है, क्या नहीं दिया है, इसका बारे में हम बहुत क्लियरली बोल रहा है। सब, हर एक इंसान भी इक्वल जीना है, वो जीने का एक सिस्टम बना रहा है। इसीलिए हम हमारा स्लोगन को भूख से आजादी और खौफ से आजादी बोलकर हम स्लोगन रखे हैं। ये आरएसएस का लोग का जो कुछ उन्होंने खौफ पैदाइश करने का कोशिश कर रहा है उसको हम खत्म करेंगे। और इधर हिंदुस्तान का और कर्नाटक का बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा क्या है बोले तो बहुत गरीबी में है लोग, वो गरीबी को हटाने के वास्ते हम काम करना है। ये गरीबी को हटाना बोले तो हमारा पास वो एक भूख से आजादी दिलाने का काम करना है। ये जो कुछ ह्यूमैनिटी बेस्ड काम, सोशल सर्विस कर रहा है, लोगों को क्या क्या होना है, वो काम भी हम कर रहे हैं।
बैठ के बात करते हैं, आ जाइए, क्योंकि काफी धूप है यहाँ पर। लेकिन जो दूसरा सवाल है जो मैं पूछूंगा आपसे रियाज भाई, वो ये है कि जो आप आरोप लगा रहे हैं आरएसएस पर, वो भी आप पर सीधा लगाते हैं। वो बोलते हैं कि एसडीआई के पास कोई मुद्दा नहीं है, उनके पास बस माइनॉरिटी इश्यूज, पॉलिटिकल परसिक्यूशन, ये सब इशू लगाकर लोगों को गुमराह कर रहे हैं, वोट बेस को गुमराह कर रहे हैं और मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी को बैकवर्ड रख रहे हैं। वो आरोप है आपके खिलाफ।
देखो, सोशल डेमोक्रेटिक पार्टी ऑफ इंडिया मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी को बैकवर्ड रखना बोले तो उसका मतलब क्या है? हम अभी तक सत्ते में नहीं आया, हम इधर रूलिंग नहीं किया है, हमारा पास एमएलए नहीं है, हमारा पास एमपी नहीं है, फिर हम कैसे मुसलमान को बैकवर्ड रखने का? इधर जो कुछ लोग हुकूमत किया है वो लोग मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी को बैकवर्ड रखा है। वो लोग असली मुद्दे पर बात नहीं किया है, मुसलमान का एक्चुअल प्रॉब्लम क्या है वो प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्वेशन नहीं दिया है। मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी को पॉलिटिकल रिजर्वेशन वो लोग देना था, मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी को एजुकेशन में रिजर्वेशन देना था, मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी को गवर्नमेंट जॉब में एजुकेशन देना था। इसका ये मुद्दे पर बात नहीं किया है। जो कुछ लोग हुकूमत किया है वो दरगाह जाकर उधर चादर स्प्रेड किया और उधर फूल ये किया, वो सिर्फ वही किया है। मुसलमान लोगों का ईदगाह में आकर टोपी पहनकर हम सेक्युलरिज्म बोल के दिखाए। सेक्युलरिज्म का माना तो ये तो नहीं है ना। और मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी का फेवरेबल रहना बोले तो इनका साथ एक एक्टिंग करना बोल के नहीं, उनका असली मुद्दे पे ये लोग बात करना था। अभी ये कांग्रेस का हुकूमत में ऐसा पूरा हो गया और बीजेपी हुकूमत को आने के बाद वो लोग क्या किया है? वो लोग मुसलमान का खिलाफ ही कानून बनाया, सीएए लाया, एनआरसी लाया और हिजाब के बारे में बात किया वो लोग, और ट्रिपल तलाक को कैंसिल किया, हमारा शरीयत को ऊपर सवारी करने के लिए कोशिश किया। ऐसा सवारी करने से उनको क्या मिलता है? उनका जो कुछ सीट है उसमें उन्होंने फिक्स हो जाते हैं। क्यों बोले तो इधर का मेजॉरिटी पीपल उनके साथ रहता है बोलकर फैसिज्म का वो कॉन्सेप्ट है, वो कॉन्सेप्ट को रखकर वो लोग जा रहा है। हम क्या कर रहे हैं बोले तो ये सही नहीं है, इक्वालिटी आना है बोलकर बोलते हैं। देखो, आजादी का लड़ाई में जो कुछ हिंदुस्तान का लोग आजादी के वास्ते इधर जंग किया है वो हिंदुस्तान लोग थे, उन्होंने आजादी का लड़ाई किया है। किसका खिलाफ? ब्रिटिश का खिलाफ। ब्रिटिश का खिलाफ लड़ाई किए जो कुछ टीम है उनको क्या बोलते? फ्रीडम फाइटर्स बोल के बोलते। अभी हम फैसिज्म के खिलाफ बात किए तो क्यों बोले तो हिंदुस्तान का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को खराब करने के लिए कोशिश कर रहा है। इनका खिलाफ हम बात किए तो हम कैसे टेररिस्ट हो जाते हैं? हम हमारा आजादी जो कुछ हमारा बुजुर्गों लोग, पुराने लोग हमको आजादी दिलाया, वो आजादी को बचाने के लिए काम कर रहे हैं। वी आर ऑल्सो फ्रीडम फाइटर फॉर एट द टाइम।
रियाज भाई, बहुत सालों से हम देख रहे हैं कि कुछ युवा लोग मर्डर हो जाते हैं, मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी से भी, हिंदू कम्युनिटी से भी, ज्यादातर कोस्टल कर्नाटका में। ये जो साइकिल ऑफ वायलेंस जो है, कम्युनल, पॉलिटिकली चार्ज कम्युनल वायलेंस, इसका एंड कैसे होगा? या क्या ये पूरा का पूरा पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड है? क्योंकि जब हम लोकल लेवल पे जाते हैं, जब हम लोगों के पास जाते हैं, काफी हार्मनी है, कोई नफरत नहीं है, हिंदू मुसलमान लोगों के बीच काफी शांति है, तो क्या ये पूरा का पूरा पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड वायलेंस है?
देखो, ये पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड वायलेंस कौन बनाया बोल के पहले हम सोचना है। इसका शुरुआत कौन किया है वही लोग खत्म करना है।
वो लोग बोलते हैं कि आपने शुरू किया है।
हम कैसे? हम अभी आया है, हम कब आए? 2009 में आया है। 1925 से वो लोग ऐसा कम्युनल वायलेंस, कम्युनल रायट्स बनाकर इधर सत्ते पे आए। 2014 में फुल मेजोरिटी में सत्ते में आए। भिवंडी कौन किया है? असम का नेल्ली का जो कुछ संघर्ष कौन किया है, मुजफ्फरनगर का कौन किया है, गुजरात का कौन किया है, भिवंडी का कौन किया है, अहमदाबाद का कौन किया है, मुंबई का कौन किया है, ये सब कौन लोग किया है। इनका पॉलिटिकल इंटरेस्ट से ये लोग उस दिन से शुरुआत किया है। हम तो अभी अभी रोकने के लिए आया है। ये कौन शुरुआत किया है उन्हों खत्म करना उनका रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है। वो खत्म नहीं हुआ तो वो खत्म होने तक इंशाल्लाह एसडीपीआई उसको लड़ाई करेगा, जंग करेगा। क्यों बोले तो ये हमारा हिंदुस्तान के लिए एक थ्रेटन है। हिंदुस्तान का जो कुछ आजादी है उसके लिए एक थ्रेटन है, हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के लिए एक थ्रेटन है। इसलिए हमारा जंग, हमारा लड़ाई तो जारी रहेगा। क्यों बोले तो इस हिंदुस्तान को हम बचाना है। ये लोग पॉलिटिकल मोटिवेटेड होकर ऐसा कर रहा है। ये लोगों को अभी सत्ते पे बैठ कर रहा है, उनका पास कुछ टॉपिक नहीं है। जॉब के बारे में बात किया है, ये लोग कितना जॉब ये लोग बना के दिया है।
आप लड़ाई के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं तो मेरा आखिरी सवाल आपसे, और वो है ये एक वायरल वीडियो जो आपका है, आपको भी पता है, जो बहुत काफी आप ट्रोल भी हुए हैं। वो फ्रेज जो है नी तांट रे बात तांट, वो एक दो साल पहले आपने एक स्पीच दिया था, वो काफी वायरल हो गया था। उसके पीछे क्या था? नी तांट रे बात तांट का मतलब क्या है? एक बार समझाइए कि वो क्या था और किस वजह से वो इतना वायरल हो गया था, क्या अपील था उसका?
हम अभी भी बोलते हैं इधर का आरएसएस लोगों को, वीएचपी लोगों को, बजरंग दल वालों को नी तांट रे बात तांट बोल के बोलते हैं। क्यों बोले तो वो लोग इस हिंदुस्तान के लिए उतना खतरा है। वो लोग, हम उसमें स्टैंडिंग में रहेंगे। हम क्या बोलना चाहते हैं बोले तो आप लोग वो क्या बोलते हैं, बहुत सॉफ्ट नेचर का लोगों के पास जाकर और ये अमायक लोगों के पास जाकर वो लोग प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट कर रहा है। एक सिर्फ मुसलमान नाम रखने के वास्ते वो लोगों का जाकर उन्होंने लोग गाय का नाम पर, लव जिहाद का नाम कर हमला कर रहा है। हम ऐसा लोगों को बोलते हैं, आप ऐसा लोगों के साथ आपका ताकत नहीं दिखाओ। आपको ताकत दिखाना चाहते हैं, हम रेडी है, हमारा साथ ताकत दिखाओ। आप पॉलिटिकली लड़ना चाहते हैं, हमारा साथ लड़ो। आप लीगली फाइट करना चाहते हैं, हमारा साथ आप फाइट करो। और आप स्ट्रीट फाइट करना चाहते हैं, वो लोगों के ऊपर आपका ताकत नहीं दिखाओ, हमारा पास दिखाओ। हम उसके लिए रेडी है, तैयार है बोलकर वो मैसेज देना चाहते हैं। लेकिन हम ये बोले सो आरएसएस और संघ परिवार लोगों को, लेकिन इस पॉइंट किसको लगा बोले तो इधर का नकली जो कुछ सेक्युलरिज्म का बात करते हैं वो लोग को लग गया है। एक्चुअली हम बोले हैं आरएसएस लोगों को, हम अभी भी बोलते हैं आरएसएस लोगों को नी तांट रे बात तांट बोलकर।
हम आपको विश करते हैं ऑल द बेस्ट रियाज भाई। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर स्पीकिंग टू इंडिया टुडे। थैंक यू। But right through all the anger, all the tension, all the fury, all the indignation, all the religious emotion, it is difficult to ignore the sense of loss everywhere you go, with family after family. You've met the family of Sharat Madiwala, now meet the family of young Praveen Netaru. Remember, it was his death that inflamed things here in coastal Karnataka last year.
A new house handed over by the Bommai government to the family of murdered BJP worker Praveen Netaru. Built at a cost of around 70 lakh rupees by the BJP in Puttur, Dakshin Kannada, the house named Praveen Nilaya has been handed over to Netaru's parents just months before his death anniversary.
To show their gratitude for Praveen Netaru, who has really worked hard as a party karyakarta, and in every way signaling, the BJP signaling that the BJP workers and their karyakartas are absolutely safe, and an action like this, an eventuality like this, that's what had happened to Praveen, the way he was hacked to death, will not be taken lightly. This will be dealt with and compensated adequately.
Praveen Netaru always wanted to build a house for his family, but he was hacked to death by alleged PFI members on 26 July last year. His parents were visibly emotional at the housewarming ceremony.
ಜುಲೈ 27 ತಾರೀಕು ತಾನು ಕೊಳಬಲ್ದು ಇರತ್ತಾಜಿ ಐದನೇದು ಕೈಂಕಡ ಅಪ್ಪ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಾರಿ ಕಣ್ಣನೇ ಇರ್ತಿದ್ದಂತುಳ್ಳು ಅವನಾಗ ಏತಿ ಮಾಡತ್ತಿದ್ದ ಕಣ್ಣನೇ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮನಸ್ಸ ಬೇನೆ ಬೇಜಾರದಲ್ಲ ಬೋಪುಜಿ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇಂಕಲೆ ಒಂಜಿ ಇಲ್ಲು ಕಟ್ಟದೊಂಜಿ ಕೊರ್ಪುನ ಒಂಜಿ ಭಾವನೆ ಅಳಿಜನ ಮಲ್ತೋಯ್ತು
ಪ್ರವೀಣ ಇಲ್ಲು ಸೋ ಕಟ್ಟೋಡು ಅಪ್ಪಮ್ಮನ ಬೊಲ್ಲು ತೂವಂತ ಇಪ್ಪೋಡು ಅಂತ ಭಾರಿ ಒಂದು ಆಸೆ ಇತ್ತಲಾಗ ಐನಂಕಲಾಣಿ ಬತ್ತಕೇಂದ್ರ ಪುರ ಫಂಡ ಕಟ್ಟದ ಕೊರಿಯರು.
Karnataka BJP President Nalin Katil also participated in the ceremony. Bharat Mata Ki Jai chants rang through the house.
बोलो भारत माता की बोलो भारत माता की.
He is a sole breadwinner and he had his old parents, wife and everything. So my party decided that we will build a house for him, and after 1.5 years we are able to build a house for him. It's a very, very satisfying thing.
BJP Yuva Morcha members' murder is a simmering issue in polarized Puttur. SDPI, the political offshoot of banned PFI, has fielded one of Nettaru murder accused, Shafi Bellari, from the constituency. Bellari is currently in jail and is being investigated by the NIA.
ಯಾವುದು ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೂಲ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಮಗೆ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನರು ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಕ್ರಿಶ್ಚಿಯನ್ರು ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ದೇಶಭಕ್ತರಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಅಬ್ದುಲ್ ಕಲಾಂ ನಮಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅಬ್ದುಲ್ ನಜೀರ್ ನಮಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಆರಿಫ್ ಬೇಗ್ ನಮಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ.
The ban on PFI, the radical Islamist organization, is a big election flashpoint in state of war, with the BJP accusing the Congress of protecting the outfit and its members.
चाहते हैं PFI पर से बैन उठ जाए? चाहते हैं क्या? चाहते हैं? कांग्रेस पार्टी कहती है PFI पर बैन लगाने की जरूरत नहीं.
The Congress is meanwhile accusing the BJP of polarization.
When a Hindu was killed due to a communal incident, the BJP government paid them compensation of 25 lakhs. But when a Muslim was killed by a communal incident, the BJP didn't even give him 1 rupee. So this discrimination is what we are against. What they want to do for a person who is close to them or who is their party worker, that is up to them.
By presenting a house to Praveen Nettaru's family, BJP has given out a strong message to its cadre. But will Nettaru's death be a factor when Karnataka votes? With Nabila Jamal in Puttur, Bureau Report, India Today.
So what does the state of polarization look like by the people who actually live, work and function here? People, some of whom have a political role and some of whom just live and function here. I'm joined by a group of individuals who've been kind enough to give me their time. We've got a businessman who works here, Ajay. We've got someone from the BJP who's here, Akshay. We've got a youngster, Ishwar Shetty also, who's a well-wisher of the BJP, but he's also a businessman, a young entrepreneur from coastal Karnataka. So let's get a view from them on polarization, because it also affects the things that they actually do. Ishwar, I'd like to start with you. Coastal Karnataka has become known in the outside world for polarized issues. Once you come here, you realize there's so much more going on here. It's not just the polarization. But as far as the polarization issues, communal tension, things like that, how are things right now? What is your perception of it?
To be frank, I feel it's pretty much controlled in the last 5 years, as it was seen earlier. This would have been done by the earlier opposition parties just in terms of communal hatred as such, but now it's pretty much controlled. If you see the recent hijab issue, it was more of a conspiracy that PFI and CFI, they have togetherly combined and they've done this. Basically, getting into facts of it, the uniform rule existed much before, even when the Congress was in power, right? So this is all a communal tension just to drift within the... See, here it's what BJP plays in terms of Hindutva, right? We don't get into the caste politics, we don't get into the other matters. If I have to talk apart from the party, if you head towards the northern part of Karnataka, there's some part of caste politics that happens in Vokkaliga, Lingat. But here it's not. Here it's all just about Hindutva versus the others, right? The main part about Hindutva is you're not anti any other religion, but you're just about talking about Hindutva here in the coastal part. Okay. So that's how it's been, and it's pretty much controlled in the last 5 years, and I'm sure we are going to do much better in the coming years ahead.
Okay, because also polarization issues which had dominated in the year 2022, they've they've visibly been played down during this election campaign. You're not hearing very many of those issues that we actually talked about. Ajay, you're a businessman, who work here. Political stability, is the highest priority for people who are in business. How is the last few years been for someone like you? With polarization, with issues that can affect stability being prevalent.
I feel polarization is more of manufactured, by media and certain vested elements. As you know, the coastal Karnataka is a very peaceful state. It is very conducive for business. You'd see a large amount
one sees that once you come here.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very safe for tourists, and there's hardly any kind of a riot or such kind of a thing happening here. But I would like to add one thing, is that the people over here are very nationalists. They do not really vote much on the caste issues as much as the media would like to talk about. Yes, but they do support Hindutva. And I think there's nothing to be apologetic about supporting Hindutva. Because Hindutva is that aspect of Hinduism. It is that aspect which protects us. So it is an attempt to rediscover our roots and reinstate our values on political front. So as I think a citizen of a country, it is a duty of every Hindus to make sure that they are politically, assertive. There's nothing wrong in that.
Okay. Your point is well taken, and I can tell you that as far as the media highlighting certain fault lines is concerned, it is something that the media in many occasions needs to introspect about. Though I can say that on India Today, we do reflect a certain balance as far as critical and emotive issues like these are concerned. In fact, for this discussion, I'd like our viewers to know we had tried to invite the SDPI also to join this discussion. Just to get everyone together and have a discussion instead of amplifying and making these fault lines, such a difficult barrier to cross. But those barriers have been difficult to cross, Sandeep. You've worked with the RSS. You do a lot of work as well. The kind of crossfire and finger pointing between organizations like the RSS and the SDPI is what has fueled this polarization.
Yeah. On a high level, we always see that RSS been pulled out into the issues that are not even an issue, or neither RSS involved in such activities. As long as the RSS is concerned, their primary goal is only to work towards nation building. And somewhere, any issues that were related to Hinduism or something, RSS always gets portrayed as an organization that involves into this. But as far as we know, that we have been working, or the daily shakas, these things related to Hinduism and the polarization or hatred towards any community, that never have been taught in RSS Shaka or neither the RSS.
So because the SDPI refused to be part of this discussion, we still, extend them a welcome to, be part of any debates that we have here on India Today, because, like many other channels, we provide factual analysis and coverage of issues, especially when they affect peace, and stability in places like coastal Karnataka. Akshay, to bring you in now, the BJP is, of course, the ruling party in Karnataka at this point of time. The Chief Minister of Karnataka very recently at an India Today event, dismissed all, polarizing issues, saying those are of no consequence in this policy this time, because it was different in 2018. In 2018, the narrative was very much about polarization.
That's true. When BJP has come to power, the earlier government had a big issue with polarization. There were a lot of murders which had happened at the last government. But when we took over the government, you can see a lot of changes have happened, and there is no Hindu-Muslim debates at all. Neither the people are calm here. So I don't think so polarization is an issue in this election. So the only vote factor will be the growth what is given by BJP counts.
Okay. Ajay, what would be your wish list going forward? Every election is a opportunity for new beginnings, new things. Whether it is the BJP, whether it is the Congress, the public will decide. That we will know on May 10th. But as a businessman, as a private individual, with skin in the game, as it were, in terms of stability, what would be your wish list? I mean, I can understand you feeling frustrated when you see the media headlines about polarization. The only time you see Mangaluru and Udupi and Karnataka in the headlines, perhaps in the so-called national media, is when it is about hijab hijab or halal or azan, etc. What would be your wish list as far as this election is concerned?
I would like to say that when the new government would be formed, we should have a more business-friendly policies, increase the ease of business, have more infrastructural push, give us the best possible infrastructure. For example, like Udupi Mangalore has a great potential for tourism. When I look at Udupi, I see a lot of similarities between a city in Italy called Florence. So you have educational hub. Here we have so many big jewelers. For example, if you look at Udupi Mangalore, the amount of jewelry that the people purchase here is astonishing. And in Florence, when I went there, I saw there's a narrow street called a Jeweler Street. There's hardly they're selling real gold or it's a very small street. So the focus should be more on increasing the revenue of people, have the make our lives more comfortable. I don't think peace and security is a problem in Karnataka as such. Karnataka is by far a very peaceful state, and Udupi Mangalore is extremely safe, so that's not an issue. So this is my wish list.
Okay. So, I would propose to all political parties that perhaps their next big slogan ought to be less polarization, more infrastructure. Because I think that's what the real responsibility of all political parties must be. We are not going to lecture people and say this is how you must run things, this is how you must do things. But we will always ask the questions here on India Today, because that is what we do. Thank you to all of you for being with me here on this. Thank you so much. This was just a few hours of reporting here in coastal Karnataka across different districts. Thank you very much for watching. And as I say namaskara, remember, I will be getting you the authentic mood on the ground in this beautiful state that goes to a crucial election. With Shivamurthy at the Kapu beach in coastal Karnataka, Shiv Aroor for India Today.
Saw the skills of ChatGPT extend to creative skills as well. They can write movies, they can direct plays. There are in fact books being written out there by ChatGPT. How do you think this skills